Welcome to the Feel Better, Be Better show. Today, Kate and Nevada will answer your questions and introduce new topics designed to help feel better and be better. These are raw conversations, but they will make a difference.
So, and now we're back for what, part two?
Part two.
Yeah, I can't do it. So, I mean, in this one, we get a little bit more into what we found works, doesn't work, kind of that kind of craziness.
Yep.
So, and then we wrap it up, never to do community again.
Ever.
Never, ever.
Can't
Only
ever,
one.
Can't ever talk about it. Two
Done.
parts is done.
Yeah. Well, I think we can flow all the way in another topic on that one, just totally relating to all of it. But what are some of the things that we are trying differently, or what we have talked about and worked through that's maybe some things that have worked, that worked on certain ones, didn't work on other ones, that maybe we can look at the differences in what we're trying to do, like even your, and maybe the pitfalls of those. Like, you're talking about your team functioning out earlier. We really did think we made up food. We're like, man, we're going to have so much leftovers. And then we ended up not having all that much.
Well, that was the crazy thing is I'm like, okay, I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to send out this potluck sign up so everybody can sign up so we know who's bringing main dishes, who's bringing side dishes, who's bringing dessert. So it's spread out and you know about how many people are coming. And I'll be damned if like a third of the team signed up for it. So you're sitting there like, is anybody even going to show up for this? I had the person who was getting plates and napkins be like, how many people do I know to play for? I don't know.
Well, so far there's 4 signed up.
Yeah, like out of the 30 families here, I don't know how many families we're going to have. So, I mean, your guess is as good as mine at this point. So it's one of those like, I don't know how you make that better necessarily, but I know organizing and communicating are huge because people will forget. So the more you can put something out there that is like, okay, this is what we're doing, and then send, some type of message a little closer to remind people.
I was gonna say, did you start sending like personal messages? I know you said text messages, but you start going like to certain people?
Only if they kind of thought they were already coming.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go like people who were just not coming. So like, I found that, as far as communication, you have to be in constant communication. So you kind of plan it a little early, maybe a couple weeks early, and then have a reason to text them like a week out, and then reminder a day or two before, because I don't know how many people are, oh yeah, that was this week, isn't it? And you're like, yeah, where's your calendar? Why isn't it on your calendar? How come everybody's not organized with a color-coded calendar like me with all my stuff on there? And so, I mean,
I have a calendar?
Yeah, I tell you what your calendar is.
I'm aware
because you're all over the place.
I'm at least nice enough to go like, hey, what do we got going on? So you don't have to feel like you're like literally like directing me around.
Like your personal assistant.
Pretty much, yeah.
With like the iPad and stuff.
No, I mean, yes, but no. I mean, I've told you, the nights that I can do stuff, and I'm just like, when do we get scheduled?
I know, I'm giving you a hard time.
No, you should, but I'm just making sure.
I'm going to get like glasses with the pen behind my ear and the little tablet thing.
Oh God, I would kill myself.
Don't
get me wrong, I'm sure there's a point in time I'm going to end up out in that spot.
Maybe, we'll see.
Not with you.
You're going to have a different assistant?
I probably.
Okay.
You'll probably have one too.
No, I can do my own stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'm organized enough.
Sure.
My problem is then I judge the other person's organization and be like, not up to par.
Just let them rock it if they can rock it. I think the biggest thing on this one, as you're talking about calendars and everything, is that we just have so many things we do now. I mean, we just didn't have that back in the day. I mean, we just have so many options to be able to go do. And some of that's like we talked about before, I mean, like you could stay at home and do a billion things through the internet.
Yeah.
And I mean, but at the same side, I mean, you've got church stuff here, school stuff here, and, local rec center activity stuff. And then you got stuff like what we're doing here, and you got team stuff, and you got this, and you just friend stuff and bar stuff. I mean, it's just never ending. Mm-hmm. You can be doing stuff every single night, every single minute of the day if you want.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be able to commit to something when you don't know it. Somebody else is going to come and be like, hey, family whatever dinner, and now you got to tell these people that we're counting on you to bring a dish that you're not going to be there.
Yeah, it's true. I just found with constant communication and trying to be as organized as possible as far as like the sign-up sheet, even though like people waited till the last minute, helped facilitate better numbers. If you kind of have people on the same page of what the expectation is and what the heck is going on, you tend to have better buy-in from people that you're looking for. Because even when we do like hey, we're going to grill burgers. We let them know at least the week ahead of time so somebody can be like, hey, can I bring something? It's like, sure, you can bring this side, or just make sure you don't eat. Or then it's not like, oh, I ate, I didn't know you were doing that. Or, oh, if you would have told me, I would have brought some fruit or chips or buns or whatever. Like,
I wonder how much of that engagement is what helps drive your
yeah,
participation. I mean, even I think of some of the clinics that we've done where we've asked for help. How much did that pull in? What are the other things you're doing?
yeah, I think people like to feel helpful because then they're not just showing up for a thing. Because, yeah, if there's a potluck where people can bring stuff, feel like there's far more responsive to it than if you're just like, hey, I'm making this fancy dinner, come hang out with me. Which is weird. You would think people would be like all about like, oh, I don't have to do anything. But it's like we almost feel guilty showing up without having something, some part of it.
Well, but how much more do you care when it's something that you're involved in, though?
That's true. Well, if you're talking about community too, I mean, you're starting community by everybody, bringing a dish or whatever. I mean, it kind of starts there.
A little bit, but I think it's also a little bit about all of us helping. Like even when we were hitting over at the other place or whatever. I mean, we already paid for that, so we've kind of had some people that were like, "No, please come on out. I already paid for it." To get things going and started because you're like, I had to pay for it to make it happen. And so how much of it is, in here that they know that we paid for it. So we got to find a way to happen. I mean, are some of them just doing it to make sure that we do well so we can be able to keep doing the stuff we're doing for the remaining community stuff? Probably. I mean, it's probably a little bit of that. You feel guilty on it, but they're wanting to support you. Mm-hmm. They're wanting to help you out.
Yeah. Or the people who, I mean, when we've talked about doing certain fundraisers or team events or stuff like that, been like, oh, I thought it'd be great if we do this. Or, hey, can I come help set up tables? Or do you need help with anything else? Or can I bring my kid for this? And it's like, the more you say yes to that, the more they seem engaged and want to participate.
Yeah.
Which, again, weird to be like, yes, come do these things for me. But
the weirdest feeling in the world.
People like to feel helpful, so...
Well, you got to put yourself in their shoes. How much did you enjoy actually helping people that were doing that stuff? And it made you feel like you weren't just grubbing off of them. You weren't just basically the one that was there eating the food and enjoying everything.
Part of the group.
They just didn't feel like they were doing it for you. So you didn't feel like you had to reciprocate. You felt more part of it. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's kind of things that we've found that we got to do. The more we kind of like tried to provide everything for everybody, it just didn't really work.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get stuff for that. I mean, we did the done for you classes and stuff like that, but that's a whole different thing. You're paying for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything else, I think we've done a pretty good job of trying to be like, no, it's your training, your working, your group activity, your team, your community on there, trying to basically help people do that. Mm-hmm. I think we found that mixing up different things to find out what works in whatever group, trying to brainstorm ways to change it, make it better. But I think definitely engaging the people when they're there is one of the most important things.
Yeah.
We probably don't talk about that enough, but I mean, we're in a nice situation where we're coaching. I mean, you're going to engage, but as long as you can make it to where it's not like you're just barking orders at them. I mean, we've had coaches like that were basically like just had no personality, no connection to you, or just telling you things they wanted done the entire time. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a connection with them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why would I do that now?
Yep.
Any other, I mean, you talk about, kind of following up with people and retouch them and do different things. But I think one of the things we talk about is not hitting people too often as well. I mean, you don't want to basically be like, oh, Friday went great. All right, let's do Wednesdays and Fridays. All right, now we're going to do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And it's just like next thing you know, you are on full on overblown. So you got to make sure you keep it.
Them too.
Often, but rare.
Yeah, them too. Because I mean, nobody wants to feel like, oh my God, I'm getting all my time sucked by this certain group, you know?
You mean the teams that play like every weekend in every different state?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they just all want to kill each other.
Those out of state tournaments are super fun until you're doing it all the time.
Every weekend.
You spend your time with these people all the time, and then you're kind of like, okay, do we have a weekend off coming up?
I think my favorite is when people actually end up befriending some of the teams some of the parents on the other teams that are like from different states.
Yeah.
Because they've literally seen each other at all these different tournaments, and it's just like, that is almost sad. So whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything else. You got anything else on this? Or all right. Well, we'll call it a night. Wrap up our community.
Yep.
get it put to
Community
bed.
of 2 right now
We have more than that. We have
in this building right now.
in this building right now is only 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. We didn't bring Bentley out or anything, right?
No,
Okay.
although everybody would probably watch this podcast far more if he was here.
Yeah, we'll just do Playing with Dogs
Just
podcast.
like running around in the
Yeah.
background. We'll be like, "There's the puppy."
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, fetch another ball.
Yeah.
All right, good night, everybody.
Thank you for watching Kate and Nevada. Hope you've enjoyed this show and found it useful and empowering. If you have any questions or comments, please contact them at Kinetics.com. That's KNETICX.com. They're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. And please write a review of the show. Kate and Nevada appreciate hearing the feedback, and they welcome your reviews, and your word of mouth will help others learn how to feel better and be better.